Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Today's first story is about a woman who thought spending thousands of dollars meant she was above paying an $11 shipping fee. Even though it was written in her quote, her confirmation, and explained multiple times. Lady throws a fit over an $11 fee after spending thousands. I work in a showroom that sells kitchen and bath products, faucets, toilets, sinks, all that. Our showroom is large, but our stockroom is tiny, so most things are special ordered, which is fairly common in showrooms. We carry the basics, such as the valves you need and the most popular items, but the rest gets ordered. Normally not a problem, and shipping usually only takes a week. Most people expect a freight charge, and we give them a warning about it. Because things are special ordered, we rarely allow returns. We will if you're nice or if we know we can easily resell. This is stated on quotes and on order confirmations as well as your final receipt. A woman comes in and orders a few showers and faucets for her remodel. I write her up, explain that freight will be automatically added to her bill when the invoice arrives, which was also included on the original quote I emailed her a few days before she ordered, and write down an estimate for her on her order confirmation. High end would be $15, so I put $15. Her order comes in, and yay, the freight charge is only $11. She comes in to get her order. I show her everything. She approves. We sit down to do the final payment. She's going to be SL for stupid lady. SL, what's this $11 charge? Me, oh, that's the freight charge we discussed? Good news is that it's actually lower than I originally told you. SL, we never discussed a freight charge. Me, we did, ma'am. I wrote it on your confirmation, and the estimate was included on your original quote under freight charges. SL, no, it was not. I'm not going to pay surprise fees. Me, it's a freight charge, ma'am. We had to order these from the manufacturer, which means they had to ship them. It was included in your quote, and a note was added to your order confirmation. SL, I've already given your company thousands of dollars. I shouldn't have to pay a cent more. Me, ma'am, our company does not keep the freight charges. It's paid to the manufacturer to cover their costs for shipping the product to you. SL, I'm not going to pay it. Me, if you don't pay for the items completely, you cannot take your order, ma'am. Payment has to be made in full. SL, then I want a refund. Me, you can get a refund, but you'll be charged a 30% restocking fee by the manufacturer themselves. SL, are you refusing to give me my money back? Me, the manufacturer sets the restocking fees. I can give you 70% of your money back, but 30% of the total order is a restocking fee. SL, this can't be legal. You can't get away with all these extra fees. I pull up the email I'd sent her with her original quote and point to it. Me, the estimated freight charge in this quote is $15. It ended up only being $11, which actually saves you $4 in the end. On this quote, you'll see that it specifies that if a return is accepted, it is subject to the manufacturer's restocking fee. This brand's fee is 30%. If you have your confirmation paperwork with you, you'll see my note about the freight charge and a warning about returns that's automatically printed on the paper. I can give you back 70%, which was about $2,100, but the freight charge itself will be a part of the money that isn't given back to you. SL, fine. Me, are we going to be doing the refund or the final payment? SL, the final payment. I run her card, get her paperwork and signature, and help her get her things to her car. As she's getting ready to get in her car, SL, you know, to customers who spend a lot of money here, you should not charge them extra fees. It's rude and it's bad customer service. Me, have a nice day, ma'am. It's $11 that you knew you would be paying. What the hell, lady? Yeah, it's so rude to tell people the price of what they're buying and then expect them to pay that price. So very, very rude. I love that it ended with a "have a nice day, ma'am." Very appropriate. And our second story. The neighbors declared war over a hedge. Now they're facing a restraining order. Our neighbors have hated us for years, and it all started over a simple home extension. When we decided to expand our house, we followed every rule, got full approval, and the council rejected their complaints. Their main argument that our extension blocked their light, which would be a fair concern except for the fact that they had illegally converted their garage into a dining room and added windows without permission. Despite this, my parents felt guilty. They didn't want bad blood, so in an effort to ease tensions, they agreed to remove part of the front hedges that had been there for years. It was a mutual decision, something they hoped would show goodwill, but instead of appreciating the gesture, the neighbors took it as an opportunity to claim the entire boundary as theirs. That was when everything escalated. Their sudden land grab made no sense. Our houses were built 50 years apart, and ours had been a corner property with its own hedges long before theirs even existed. We had photographic proof, old documents, and even official records confirming that the space was always part of our land. But it didn't matter to them. They decided to sue us, claiming that the land belonged to them, except they refused to actually hire a solicitor. Instead, they just shouted at us, left threatening notes, and made demands as if that somehow counted as legal action. When my parents pushed back and told them to handle this properly through the courts, the neighbors went on one of their usual rants, shouting, "Why should I get a solicitor when you guys caused this?" That was all we needed to hear. Since they wouldn't act like adults, we took the next step. We hired our own solicitor because, unlike them, we actually knew how legal disputes worked. But before the courts could even settle the land issue, things took a darker turn. The boundary fight was bad enough, but these neighbors weren't just petty, they were violent. It started small. They moved objects onto the disputed space, built walls, ignored police warnings, but then it got personal. My mom was physically assaulted by the neighbor's wife multiple times. I was attacked too. At one point, the wife actually tried to run my mom over with her car. We reported everything. The police came out several times, issued warnings, and made it clear that what they were doing was illegal. But nothing changed. These people had no fear, no boundaries, and no concern for the law. That's when we realized that police warnings weren't enough. The only real way to protect ourselves was to take them to court, not just over the land dispute, but to get a restraining order against them. When we spoke to the police, they were sympathetic, but clear. We can't enforce anything regarding the land. That has to be settled in court. But if they commit any more criminal offenses, we'll arrest them. So we decided to handle everything legally, once and for all. We gathered every single piece of evidence, the property documents proving the land was ours, photos and videos of them trespassing and dumping things onto our property, footage of the wife's physical assault, police reports from every incident. With that, we filed for a restraining order and took them to court over the land. The court ruled completely in our favor, the land was officially declared ours, and the neighbors were forced to remove everything they dumped on it. Because of the restraining order, they now have to stay away from us entirely. No more fights, no more property disputes, no more threats. The police made it clear, if they come near us again, they're getting arrested. I'd love to say they learned their lesson, but honestly, I don't care. First of all, the absolute audacity of these people to illegally modify their home, lose the land dispute fair and square, and then decide, well, since we didn't get our way legally, let's just go full psycho instead. Like, what kind of unhinged logic is that? And our last story. The old man who owns the company. This Saturday, I put on my usual work uniform, a black polo shirt with our security company's logo, a light black vest over it, a badge on my belt, and a small bag for concealed carry. Summers in the northern U.S. are unpredictable, but today the sun was blazing. It was clear that wearing a thick suit would have been torture. As the head of a security firm, I regularly visit our sites, several large office buildings that house restaurants, IT company offices, and even doctors' offices. My job is not only to maintain discipline, but also to lead by example for my staff. Our main rule is simple: treat anyone with respect if they treat you with respect. That day started out normally. I met with the head of security in one of the buildings to discuss rotating his team shifts. We were in the monitoring room when the camera operator suddenly shouted an alarm, "Urgent! One of the guards is causing trouble in the parking area. Looks like it's about to turn into a fight." We rushed out and hurried to the lower-level parking lot. There, I saw the following scene. Our guard, a rather rough fellow named Trevor, was yelling at a shabbily dressed older man. The man was standing next to an old Volvo station wagon from the 90s with the rear door open. Judging by the half-eaten sandwich, it looked like he'd just stopped for a moment to rest. "Hey, you trash," Trevor was shouting. "Get out of here or I'll throw you out right now." My heart sank. We have no right to speak to anyone like that. I took a step forward. "Trevor, what's going on? Calm down." but he was too worked up. "Back off, boss. I've got this under control. This old man's been hanging around here for who knows how long. I'll toss him out along with you if I have to." At this point, he was clearly in serious violation of our protocols. The shift supervisor, Jim, had arrived by then. He shoved Trevor aside and ordered him firmly back to the office. Once Trevor left, I walked up to the older man. "I'm so sorry. Are you all right? We value politeness here, and I'd like to apologize for our employees' behavior." The old man stayed calm, though he looked slightly hurt. "It's fine. I was waiting for my assistant to bring me the keys. I'm not homeless, if that's what you're thinking. In fact, I'm a co-owner of this building and rent an office upstairs. I just came outside for some fresh air and forgot my keys." At first, I was a bit doubtful. His old-fashioned, worn suit made it look like he hadn't updated his wardrobe in a long time. Still, he spoke evenly and confidently. Something compelled me to verify his story. A few minutes later, a young man arrived with a set of keys. We headed to the elevator together, and as we went, they discussed some documents. Reaching the right floor, I saw a massive door that our security indeed did not have access to. Such was the owner's condition. The older man showed me his ID and papers confirming that he was indeed a shareholder. I apologized. "Please accept my apologies for our employees' outrageous behavior. We'll take immediate action." He shrugged slightly. "I understand. It's just unpleasant to be insulted out of the blue. I hope not everyone in your firm is like that." "No, of course not. We respect people. Trevor's rudeness has hurt all of us." After saying our goodbyes, I returned to the security office where Jim was already waiting, grimly watching Trevor. Trevor sat there with a stony expression, but when I announced his immediate dismissal for such a blatant breach of our rules, he exploded. "To hell with you all! I'm done here!" He jerked his head up, threw his pass on the table, and stormed out, trying to seem indifferent, but it was clear he realized how serious his actions were. Later, I dealt with all the paperwork, explanations, and official notes. Not the most pleasant task, but the firm's reputation is more important. This incident once again reminded me of a simple truth. You can't judge a person by their appearance. In the northern U.S., people in summer can look any number of ways. Some wear a shabby jacket, others a patched-up shirt. But that doesn't give us the right to despise anyone or speak rudely to them. After all, the person in front of you could turn out to be influential or simply someone deserving of respect. Above all, you must always remain polite. We're here to provide security, not to ignite conflicts. Never judge a man by his old Volvo station wagon. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.